When was the last time you checked key functionality on your station website or mobile app? You might have pages with outdated content or even a stream down, costing you visitors and revenue. That's where regular content audits will help. Hi, it's Jim, and welcome to Better Radio Websites, the podcast that wants to help you get more visitors and the most revenue from your radio station website. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. And if you haven't yet, be sure that you like and subscribe. Wherever you get this podcast, whether it's in your favorite podcast app, be sure that you're subscribed there. Or if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe there as well. Whenever you like a video, it helps more people get this great content to help their radio station grow. Well, just this morning, a station general manager I know discovered that their online stream had been down for who knows how long. It could have been a couple hours, and it really could have been days. This was a Monday, so it could have been down the entire weekend or heck, even longer than that. Nobody noticed. Unfortunately, this kind of issue is far too common when websites go unchecked for long periods. We're in the radio business. We don't check the website very often. I totally get that. But we don't want to be the kind of, all right, so if the listeners are not saying anything, it's probably okay because we don't want them to get a bad taste for our radio station when something is bad. Because maybe, that 1% of 1% are the ones that actually call the radio station. Well, maybe only that 1% of the 1% are actually going to let us know when there's a problem on our website. Now, I know I've touted the benefits of an annual content audit, and that those are really good. You're going to do a full sweep of all your old content and making sure everything is right. Your address is still right. The phone numbers are still the same. All of your on-air schedules are right. But let's not wait until the end of the year to do a major audit, because if you do, you could risk missing the day-to-day problems that turn visitors away, and that could cost you advertising dollars, and we don't want that. So let's talk about regular ongoing content audits and how they're essential to building into, build those into your station workflow so that you're not turning away listeners and dollars. So why do regular content audits matter? Well, they're going to help you spot critical issues a whole lot faster, like a broken audio stream, contact forms that either don't work or maybe have the wrong fields on them now. Maybe you're not offering something or maybe a station changed and you had your stations listed in a drop-down menu, but you didn't change the name of a station that you don't have anymore. All of those kinds of things can pop up. Now, a structured audit done weekly or monthly, it helps you catch these errors early before they become bigger problems later on. Number two is to be consistent, up-to-date information. That's what listeners rely on us for and our websites for. Local news, community events, weather, traffic, all that kind of other cool stuff. They rely on us for that. And advertisers expect accurate information about the services we provide, the reach that we have. Updating your site regularly ensures that no one is greeted with stale, broken pages, outdated rates, just things that are just not working right, because they will equate that to kind of the experience that they're going to have with our radio station. So we want that to maintain that positive kind of everything mental that comes along with us. All right, number three is boosting engagement and loyalty. Ongoing audits allow you to keep refreshing your website with new interactive features like polls, listener shout outs, bucket lists, all those kinds of cool things. If you're always adding something fresh, listeners have a reason to come back daily or weekly rather than tuning in just once a month or, heaven forbid, a whole lot less than that, just whenever. Number four is supporting SEO best practices. Search engines favor sites. Of course, we've pounded this to regularly update their website with quality content, something that is fresh every time that you go to the homepage. A routine audit is going to involve checking titles, metadata, keyword uses, making sure all of your images are a consistent size and have all of those alt tags and title tags, boosting your SEO. And you're also checking your website for speed and mobile friendliness, because if the site is super slow or if it doesn't work well on mobile devices, then you're going to start turning people away. And that's never, never a good thing. These small incremental improvements that you can make over time are going to keep your website high in search results. And people coming back to your website on a more consistent basis will help in those search results. And so if they have a positive experience with your website, they're going to come back more often. Number 5 is maintaining a brand consistency. That's another reason why these audits are very, very important, because your on-air brand voice, it evolves over time. New shows, new personalities, changing formats. Incorporating ongoing audits ensures that your website aligns with what people are hearing on the radio right now, not what they heard last year or, heaven forbid, longer ago than that. All right. So on our website should be an indication of what we're doing on air, and all of that should be current all of the time. And then number 6 is leveraging multimedia more effectively. Your station likely produces a lot of audio content, right? Interviews, morning show bits, live performances. Well, regular audits can help you see where that audio might be repurposed, and maybe even enhancing it with video. So keeping an eye on your archives might spark new ideas, like launching a weekly best of clip or featuring community voices, even turning your newscast into podcast. That might be something that you want to look at.
Looking to maximize your radio station's digital presence? Skyrocket Radio delivers custom websites and mobile apps built exclusively for radio stations by radio professionals. Our websites engage listeners and drive revenue, while the integrated apps keep your audience connected wherever they are. It's a complete digital solution designed to boost your station's reach and ad sales. To take your station's online experience to the next level, visit skyrocketradio.com.
So some updated best practices for ongoing audits is to, number 1, set an audit schedule. Decide on which parts of your website or app that you want to review weekly or monthly or quarterly. Front page sliders, audio streams, important links. That might be something that you want to check a little bit more often. Checking the DJ bios and show schedules and advertise with us page might be something that you could put off. It doesn't have to be weekly. It could be monthly or even quarterly. You also want to perform quick checks often, like a weekly spot check. It can involve testing quickly the streaming players, confirming that the images and the links are loading very fast, and ensure any scheduled content is posting correctly. We had a few websites where they would schedule post, and then later on in the day, it just did not post for whatever reason. So you want to be sure that things are working the way that they should. Now, this check should not take more than 10, 15, 20 minutes. All right. Just looking in the admin, making sure that things are posting that the way that they should, that your streams are actually playing and everything is fine. Your images are all loading very, very fast. And there are all kinds of different tools out there that you can load your website into, like GT Metrics and Google Page Insights, that will actually go through and it will tell you how fast your website is loading. And it will tell you what is causing your website to load even more slowly. So if your team is loading a bunch of large images, it will say, these images right here are way more in file size than they should be. These are the ones that you need to minimize and optimize in order to bring these scores up. Next, you want to use a content calendar. Integrate your audit task into some sort of a shared calendar or project management system, and dedicate 1 week each month to review, like I said, all those SEO tags on the recent articles. Another one to evaluate is user engagement metrics. See what posts are being clicked on more often than others. Do more of that content, less of the content that is not getting any clicks at all. Heck, you may even, using the analytics tools, you can actually see what people are clicking on and what they're not clicking on. You may have entire sections of your website, like national news that you're importing via RSS feeds. If you're doing that, keeping people on your website, that may be awesome. And it looks like you have a lot of things going on. But if people are not going to those posts because they're getting it from other places or whatever, then there's no reason for it to be on your website. It's actually bringing the SEO of your website even down to have all of that extra stuff there, because what it's doing is it's taking some focus away, relevancy away from your local content, because there's just so much stuff on your website. And Google and other search engines, they do take that into account. So as I mentioned, analytics tools, that's another one. You definitely want to use that. If there is a sudden drop in page views or unusually high bounce rates, what a bounce rate is, that somebody came to your website, didn't see anything that interests them, they did not click anywhere, they were just gone. That's what's called a bounce rate. So if you see unusually high bounce rates, either on your homepage or particular pages on your website, analytics tools will show you that. And what you'll want to do if you have a sudden drop or high bounce rates, then you may want to look at tweaking or even removing that content. Analytics can also reveal things like broken page links, slow load times, streaming errors. If somebody clicked on a particular stream, if you have it embedded on your website and you have some sort of an error on that, or maybe the stream is missing, those types of errors will appear in analytics tools. Now, some of the tools can be assigned to go and check your website automatically each month, returning a report of the issues for you. For example, you can have a website go out and check all the broken links on your website each and every month. And if there are, it returns a report of where those broken links can be found. So that is something to keep in mind. You also want to check for accessibility and mobile responsiveness. With so many mobile listeners now, you do want to ensure that every page on your website looks good on a mobile device. Different screen sizes. Whenever you have to zoom in because you can't see very well and you have to zoom in and things start munching in together and the website actually starts breaking, that's an accessibility issue that you must check. And so you can go through and use accessibility checklists to be sure that all of your images have alt and title tags, because screen readers, people who are sighted that come to your website, need those in order to see your website. All kinds of plugins out there that can confirm that images have all that information, the color contrast is sufficient, and that your site is keyboard friendly. Accessibility is going to be a whole lot more important as we go on, because legislation about accessibility issues and websites is getting a whole lot more traction now. So a lot of websites who have never even thought of including an alt and title tags on their images, they will at some point in the future be forced to. That means somebody's going to have to go through all of the 10,000 images on your website and put a title tag and an alt tag with each and every one, and maybe even a description tag actually writing out what is in that image. Small puppy playing in a green backyard or whatever. All right. So do you keep that in mind? That's something it's not a given, and it's not a law right now, but it's coming sometime in the future. So when you have that information in there, it's helping your SEO already. So go ahead and start doing it. Next, you want to keep advertiser sections updated. Of course, your Advertise With Us page is very, very important. You should highlight your ad packages, sponsorships, any kinds of things that you want advertisers to know. You want that information to be up to date every single time that an advertiser goes there to you. If you have a certain salesperson that it's only for website traffic, and you want all website responses to go to that person or that sales manager, be sure that that information is up to date. The email address is right, or the form goes to the right person. You may want to add success stories or testimonials on this page. Be sure that they're up to date, that you're not adding a testimonial, or you're not showing a testimonial or a success story from somebody who's out of business. All right. So that sort of thing. It all helps the page stay dynamic and relevant to your potential sponsors. And then encourage listener feedback. Set up a feedback form somewhere on the website to encourage feedback from listeners to help you identify issues that you might miss. Listeners are great at that, but if it's difficult to reach out to the radio station and let them know about the issue, they just won't. They'll just leave and hope that the next person will do that. Listeners, they're often the first ones to spot broken issues, and so make it very, very easy and quick for them to report those to you. So when you catch all these issues early, you're keeping your site evolving alongside your air content. Your brand feels more reliable and up to date. People across the internet, they love fresh content on websites. And if they're engaged with that content and they know that it's updated more often, they're more likely to return the next day, and next day. So The interaction is good, you're boosting engagement, and you're boosting loyalty. Advertisers will also be more inclined to invest in a platform that is clearly cared for and regularly refreshed. So a content audit, it's not really all about finding problems. It's about identifying opportunities as well. So every time you discover something broken, ask, how can I enhance that feature or process to so that it doesn't happen again or that it can be better moving forward? And yes, like I said, I've mentioned the annual content audit that can help your website grow, but you don't want to wait an entire year to miss out on something that could be fixed right away. And these things that you're overlooking could be very, very important, like the streaming issue. Routine, bite sized audits can keep your radio station website current, functional, and engaging. Just dedicate a few minutes or each and every week or every month, and I bet you're going to see a lot of areas that you can improve on. And this is only going to help you maintain a strong online presence and ensure that your listeners and advertisers always find what they need when they land on your website. Hey, has this episode helped you? I hope it has. If it does, please share it out with your radio colleagues. Leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Give us ideas on things that you would like us to cover with your radio station website specifically. We try to cover the entire gamut while being, of course, in the niche of radio station websites. And so we do want to help you and your radio station grow. And hey, look, if you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe to help us this content right here reach more radio people just like you. I do so much appreciate that. Hey, have an awesome week online making your radio station website better. We'll see you next time.